Like probably what, 10,000?
I don't know, but he, you see, in the mid to late 50s, Bell C. Jacobs, they were the king of the retail surfboard business.
Huh. So did he outsell? He couldn't have sold Hobie, right?
Well, he didn't do on a grand scale like Hobie. That became a big manufacturing outfit, and he was just himself and some shapers that he hand-picked, and the shapers and.
But the king of the retail surf business, that's an odd way to characterize it if he was just this niche high end.
But it was. I don't know. He just became so well known. Everybody knew Dale Belsey.
Well, everybody wanted it because it was a status thing.
They had the big Woody show every year in Encinitas. In fact, before Dale died, we passed him on the freeway coming down. I looked over and I said, "That's Dale," and he was in his '32 Chevy Club Coupe, and he tried to sell it to me. He says, when I saw him at the Woody show, he said, "Hey, you want to buy this?" And I said, "What do you mean you want to buy it?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to get rid of it." And it was beautiful, custom, 32 Chevy. And I said, "Well, how much you want for it?" And he said, "Not much." I said, "Well, how much is not much?" And he said, $26,000.
Yeah.
And I said, "No thanks, Dale. I don't think I can cut it." So I said,
What year was this? Sorry.
This was probably about 7 years ago. So
You're not really into collecting classic cars. That's not really your thing.
No, not for $26,000, I'll tell you. So anyway, it was funny. I tell you what, Dale, I said, "Here's $20 for the thing. Autograph this hat."
That sounds like more your speed.
Yeah, he was a great surfer and a great guide. Had a lot of stories, and he could drink gin like nobody else.
Well.
He would sit up at the ranch where Nancy has her horse, and he had built a kind of a picnic area, and he'd hold court, and straight gin on the rocks.
Oh dear.
Yeah, boy, he could drink it too, I'll tell you.
Enjoyed his gin.
Yeah.
Is that on his tombstone?
So anyway, there he is.
That's nice.
He's a good guy.
That's quite an unassuming looking shop he had.
Yeah. You didn't need much,
Yeah.
And he didn't put out mass production like Hobie. His were custom, and that's how they got so much money for him.
Yeah.
And I could probably never afford a Belsey. Maybe I should have asked him down the line, "Hey, instead of that Chevy Coupe, how about me just, giving you half of what you want for one of your boards?" And get back into the swing of things. There. No, well, I mean, maybe you just sort of paddle around out there, not do any big waves. In fact, I have a couple of friends that are still surfing. Bill Spohr,
Really?
a friend of mine in high school, and he's my age, and he still gets out
Wow,
and surfs.
good for him.
And Joe Gann, who is a friend and good friend of Bill Spohr's, and they were still surfing together, but Joe Gann got kind of ill, and I think he's kind of dementia and so forth, but he's with the Gann racing family. His brother owns several big-time racehorses.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. And but they were still surfing up until just a couple of years ago. I think Bill still gets out with Harry Backer and so forth. But so you can still do it at 77.
Gee. Well, I mean, if you've got your balance and all that,
So
why not?
It was good they've got a thing out here about Dell. He would like that. He liked notoriety.
It's really nice. So this is his board right here?
It's one of these that he made, yeah.
So we'll get that on camera. I'll back up so I can see the whole thing. It takes a while. You have to back up quite a ways to get the whole thing. There it is. I hear some ukulele music right here. Yeah, I can see why they have to warn you not to touch, because it is tempting to touch these
Yeah,
things. I think
yeah.
people must
So I was
forget,
looking-
because they're so tactile looking. I mean, I never do touch things in museums, but I think in here you would forget
Yeah.
this sort of
Good
museum.
thing they tell you. Anyway,
More up on the ceiling.
there's another board. Some of them have the redwood and balsa. See that redwood stripping in them?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
that makes them heavier.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh. Uh-huh. This looks like contemporary clothes right here.
There you go.
Oh, here's some, the National Geographic coverage. This is from 1935?
National Geographic.
Yeah, from 35. Some surf coverage from 35. Wow. That looks like that same picture of the one in 44.
Yeah, that's the same one right here. But see, this board. See, this thing is 83 pounds. This thing.
Yeah, that's a heavy board. Lugging that around, keep you in shape.
Yeah, that wouldn't fit in a convertible.
No.
Sounds like you know something about that board?
Well, I'm just explaining, it was similar, I didn't have one that large. I used a 10-footer, that's 11.5 feet, but mine was balsa redwood, and it weighed about 75 pounds. It was very tough on a windy day to get it out to the water.
Did you make it yourself?
No, we were just looking, a good friend of mine, Dad6
Okay.
who was into customized boards. In fact, his boards are going to go for $2,500, and everybody wanted a Dad6 board. Yeah. He didn't mass produce like Hobie.
So your surf area was up north a bit?
No, south. From Coronado all the way up
No
to the Trestles in San Onofre.
Outstanding. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Jim Broach.
I'm Jane. I'm a historian. Thank you. Wonderful to meet you. Awesome. Is this your first visit to the museum?
No, this is my first visit to where they relocated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it used to be Orem City Coast Highway.
So did you know the Major Farrell?
No.
His family?
No,
He was a Coronado surfer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there were a lot of people I didn't know as well. But Dale Belsey, we were just looking at his stuff over there, and he was a good friend and a good surfer. But I surfed Coronado, Wind and Sea, Mission Beach, Carlsbad, Encinitas,
Pictures.
and Trestles.
Pictures. Do you have any pictures?
They were too busy surfing and playing volleyball.
Yeah,
That
is often the case, but I have to ask.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's too bad, huh?
Yeah,
That somebody wasn't
because,
out there.
In my day, there were no such thing as wetsuits, so the water was sometimes very cold. So you'd surf for maybe 45 minutes, an hour at the most, and then you'd have to come in and play some volleyball and then back up and then go back out into the water. And some of the, with his wetsuits, they can sit out there all day.
Oh yeah, it's a whole.
Hey, Dad.
That's why I was so thrilled to see you talking about the sport because you looked like you knew something about this. So, who was your? Name me a buddy or two that you surfed with. Besides being a good friend of Elsie's.
Bill Spoor, and it's been so long now. And there's Joe Gann,
I know Joe Gann.
Ed Spooner, and Bob Peterson, and
These are
Alan
all
Glazer.
new people I should know, probably.
But this all goes back in the 50s. Yeah, late.
Well, you started like late 49, right?
49 and early 50s and so forth. And then I finally gave it up after we went down to Rosarita and I had a big crash. uncharted
Yeah,
waters, you know. And I thought maybe this is when I'm supposed to quit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame. Chuck Quinn. Did you ever meet somebody
No.
named Chuck Quinn? Okay, just checking. I'm trying to pull
Yeah.
Coronado names up out of
Yeah.
my brain.
We,
The
that
Elwell
part,
brothers.
we didn't go to Coronado very often
Yeah, yeah,
because
okay.
the surf was, it was okay. It's not that big. in
So
Coronado.
Dempsey, Holder,
I've heard the name, yeah. but
Imperial
don't know.
Beach, okay, and Winded Sea.
Mhm.
That's pretty rugged surf there.
Yeah, you didn't, yeah, on days it could be tough.
You said Old Mission
Old
Beach,
Mission, Old Mission Beach.
where you went a lot.
Yeah,
Isn't that where you said you went a lot?
yeah. Hung out there and we liked that because there were so many young ladies there as well, you know. They had a nice hamburger stand there on the
So you
boardwalk.
think things have changed?
No.
over the years?
Yeah, they had this guy had a hamburger stand right there on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
And you could, once he got to know you, you could sign up as an account, you know. And so you wanted to treat somebody like some gal or something, oh, just go order a burger, put it on my account, you know. And if you settled up at the end of the year, at the end of the summer, then you could open up an account next summer. So everybody paid up, you know. But sometimes it's a good thing you had a little part-time job because getting Cokes and hamburgers and stuff for the ladies got kind of expensive for a long term.
At 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. Yeah, have you seen that Surfing in San Diego book?
No.
Because there is a picture of a hot dog stand. I don't know if it's the one you're talking about.
Well,
Oh, we got to get that.
Yeah, yeah.
if
I'll
it's
find
a-
it for you.
if it's Old Mission,
Yeah,
it might
that's
be the
it.
one.
That's it.
What is it called? Surfing in?
Well, I'll get it. I'll find the page
Oh, okay.
for you.
Okay.
But be sure you either get a membership or sign our email blast list or something. So
Okay.
we
Yeah,
can
because
remind
maybe
you
we'll
that
find a picture of you and your
Yeah.
surfing
Yeah.
pals.
You don't know. Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
If you make contact with enough people.
Because the
In fact,
best
is there a
stuff-
Facebook page for
The
this?
best stuff comes from, sometimes, the best stuff comes from people who have things in shoeboxes or
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
albums
Well, I've
that
got a
have
lot of
not
stuff
been
of
seen
that.
before.
Right.
And you're right, families didn't take cameras to the beach in those days because they had one camera
Yeah.
and it would get ruined by sand or water
Yeah.
or something. So
Uh-huh.
the pictures that we do have, we treasure and we try to make a good collection of them. But I'll
Is there a
tell you that one.
Facebook group?
Well, our museum does have Facebook.
Because maybe there should be like a, yeah, if you could get people joining a page, a group.
Yes.
Because there's a group for Riverside. We grew up in
Yeah.
Riverside in the 50s and 60s, and
Yes.
people weigh in and
I
share their
like
photos.
That. I like that.
Yeah,
And I
get
know
them, get
that
people,
happens.
get people sharing their
Right,
photos
right,
that way,
right.
and it
then
works.
As a museum, we'd be collecting more images
Yeah.
also.
You know,
Right.
So that'd be
I have
Yeah.
and names and dates.
Uh huh.
I have a great book on Dale Velsey. And if my wife would okay it, maybe we would donate it to the museum because it's quite large and it's about his lifestyle and his life and his.
Is it the one by Paul Holmes?
I can't remember the.
We might have it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because
Dale came to all of our stuff when we first started
Yeah.
as a museum. He was there for our grand opening in Encinitas.
Oh,
Yeah, so
neat.
he's a great guy, isn't he? He's a
I'd
great
go to
guy.
his Easter parties.
I know.
Were you there?
No.
With the duck?
We had a lot of parties.
Goose, actually, with the goose.
My wife boards,
Yeah.
she's a horse lady, and she
Oh.
boards a horse in San Juan Capistrano.
Okay.
And that's where Dave his horses, and he built this little picnic area, and whole court, and had
Yeah.
his gin and tonic.
That's a
and
good word for what he did. Yeah.
he would
did
whole court.
hold court.
And he had a lot of great stories, to tell, and it was a pleasure knowing him.
You know, when we'd have an event, someone always inevitably came up with a Belsey balsa, and they wanted to know where it was shaped and when and blah blah. Did he shape it and all this? And he would give them some great song. Well, this looks like blah 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 blah. Then they'd walk away all happy, and he'd turn to us and he'd go, typical Dale. He said that may or may not be true, because I would say, God, I'm so impressed that you remembered all this. But I do know that guys did remember a lot about their boards. They just had this memory that took them back 30 years, 40 years, it didn't matter. They knew their boards and they could tell you a little backstory.
Well, some of Dale's boards were going for $2,500.
Yes.
Everybody wanted a Delsey board.
Yeah.
And of course, I was poor. I couldn't afford one.
Let me find that book for you.